experts have said this, that the first 11 seconds that a person comes onto a church campus, they've already determined whether they're coming back or not. So
Wow.
that is before they heard one song. That is before they heard one word you have preached or anything like that. They have already determined about how they're treated, whether the first 11 seconds, whether they're coming back or not. So to me, you know, we're going to, for us, we're Calvary Chapel people. So we're going to teach the word verse by verse, chapter by chapter, book by book, from Genesis to Revelation. The Bible says man looks at the outward appearance, God looks at the heart. So this is why, just practically looking at it, this is why the outside of the church makes a huge difference to people. How they're treated, the ushers, greeters, parking lot, because man is looking at the outward appearance. So if man is looking at the outward appearance, this is why I said you must be intentional about putting people in visible positions, because this is how man looks at it. Man looks at the outward appearance. God is the one who looks at the heart. So before any of us get up in the pulpit and start teaching verse by verse, we have to make sure that all the barriers of why people would come to church or not come to church is removed. And especially with all the racial stuff going on, if we become intentional about meeting people where they are, which is man looks at the outward appearance, and on top of that, people are carnal. People are fleshly. They look at the flesh. Therefore, we create that thing where they have no more barriers in their lives, where through the parking lot, ushers, greeters, people in visible positions, then they come relaxed, they sit down, then they hear the worship, then they hear the word. We're last. We're last. So often before we get up there and gave one word verse by verse, they've already determined that we could give the most awesome Bible study. They've already determined in their heart whether they're coming back or not. So, you know, yes, that culture of, like Bill was talking about, that whole culture of Jesus. Yes, we want to do that because it's his church, and we ought to make sure it's all about him.